Hi there, welcome to the Stain Guru channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to remove the dreaded tomato ketchup from your clothes. I would say that this method also will apply to any sort of tomato sauce. So let's get started. First things first, the products that you will need. You'll need 2 plain cloths. Now, it's important to ensure that if you do use cloths that have any sort of colour on them, that you know that the colour will not run onto the item of clothing, because obviously we don't want that happening when we're trying to remove a stain from the item. The main product we're going to be using today is Dr. Beckmann's Stain Devil for fat and sauce. Apologies, I seem to have got the label wet, so you can't fully see that, but I've linked the product below so that you can purchase it if you don't already have that product. So now it's time to prepare the stain. Now, as you can see, I've got quite a substantial stain on my t-shirt, so much so that it's leaked to the back of the t-shirt. Now, if it hadn't have leaked, if your stain hasn't leaked to, say, the back of a t-shirt or a pair of trousers, then what you can do is take the first clean cloth and place it underneath the stain, so in between the 2 layers of the t-shirt or whatever item of clothing you have. But as I said, mine has leaked through to the back as well. So what I'm going to do is place this clean cloth underneath the t-shirt. So now that we've prepared the stain by placing the clean cloth underneath the item of clothing, we are now going to treat the stain with the Dr. Beckmann product that I mentioned earlier. So I'm going to take the cap off and apply a liberal amount of the product onto the item of clothing, ensuring that all of the areas have been covered. So now we're going to leave the stain to do its thing for at least 15 minutes. Now, I would leave it for 20 to 25 minutes. It's not going to do it any harm to let it soak. Just make sure it's in a safe space away from children or animals. Okay, so I've left the stain for 20 minutes. Now I'm going to take the second clean cloth and I'm just going to dab it in some clean water, so it's soaked but not dripping wet. And I'm now going to take the stained area and dab the stain with my cloth, working around the stain. Firstly, just dabbing the whole area. Then I'm going to start twisting the cloth into the clothing, into the area where the stain is, just working the stain. Now, as you can see, this is quite a deep stain, so I may have to soak this again with the Dr. Beckmann sauce stain removal. Don't worry if you have to soak it again, it's not a problem. Just sometimes stains can be more stubborn than other stains. Now I can see that it is working and the sauce is coming out, but I'm just going to keep pushing and twisting the stain Now, if your item of clothing is a light colour like this, and you know it's not going to, the colour is not going to run if you were to rub the stain, I do sometimes rub the stain. This t-shirt is, you know, a year or so old, so I know that the colour is not going to rub off, but I wouldn't recommend doing this on, for example, a pair of dark blue trousers that could have the colour rubbed off if I was to rub it. But in this instance, I'm just going to lightly rub the area where the stain is to help lift the stain. Now, as you can see, it is coming off, but it's still quite stubborn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat the process of treating the stain again for a second time. So I'm going to get the product and just again apply a liberal amount probably for about 15 minutes this time. So I'll come back to you once 15 minutes has passed. Right, so I've left the stain for about 15-20 minutes again. You can still see a little bit of the outline of the stain. Now, don't be alarmed if this happens, because it's amazing what the stain can do when it's in the washing machine. So now what I'm going to do is place this item of clothing in the washing machine on a 40-degree wash. Obviously check the label on your item of clothing to make sure that your item of clothing is going to be okay on a 40-degree wash. If not, then put it on a 20-degree wash. It will still work. Whilst the item is washing, the product that we've put onto this t-shirt will still be working along with the washing powder. So as I said, don't be alarmed if you were expecting the full stain to be removed just from using the product, because the product will still do its thing whilst it's in the washing machine, along with the washing powder that you use or the washing tablets that you use. So I'll check in with you once this item has been in the washing machine and is dried. I will show you the finished product. So I've washed the product in the washing machine, and as you can see, the tomato ketchup has disappeared on both sides. So I hope this video has been useful for you today. Please feel free to leave any comments or questions you might have below, and be sure to subscribe to the Stain Guru channel so that you don't miss out on any of the videos that I do. And finally, if you have enjoyed this video, then please give it a like. Thanks very much.